Labubu is everywhere. Every summer, something takes over, like totally inescapable. And this time, it's Labubu. I don't know, maybe I'm too late to the trend and you're already sick of it, but honestly, I still see it everywhere. Not just online, but on the streets too. So I thought, why not redesign the packaging? To be honest, the current one isn't really doing it for me. It's cute, but I feel like it could go way harder. Let's give Labubu a little design glow up today. I hope you'll forgive me for not buying the actual physical Labubu toy, because I don't really like buying the stuff that I don't use. I don't really like playing with toys. It's just not my hobby. If you do, that's great, but I already buy so much stuff, so I don't really see the point. And we can use some good old mock-ups to imagine what it would look like. My name is Maria Toka. I'm a freelance graphic designer, and this is one of my Design With Me episodes. So first things first, I'm gonna quickly explain which packaging I'm gonna redesign, because there are a few of them, and what exactly I'm gonna change, what I'm happy with, what I'm not happy with, stuff like that. So what I found online and in the shops, the two most common ones that I see are these two. I don't really know the difference. I guess the size is probably different and different types of Labubus there, but just from the visual perspective, I decided to redesign this one because this one is a lot cuter and nicer. I feel like it doesn't really need a redesign. Well, I could experiment, but I think this one needs it more. So what exactly I'm not really happy with? I'm not saying it's a bad packaging, it's a bad design. No, not really. I'm pretty happy with the illustration, this comic book style. Maybe not necessarily with the color scheme. To me, it feels like the colors are a bit dirty and I could choose something cleaner. And also, maybe I would try to experiment with a bit more modern and trendy styles of illustration. We'll see what I can come up with. And there are a few moments of typography which feel awkward. Like, for example, when a piece of text is bumping into an abstract object, like this liquid, for example. Or the same thing happens with the ear of Labubu, which is kind of touching the title and not touching at the same time. So those little moments feel kind of awkward to me. Also, in general, I would like to make it a little more softer, maybe a bit more delicate. The title, Exciting Macaron, yeah, it's very playful, very childish, which is very appropriate for a toy, but I would like to experiment a bit more with that and to make like a custom typography, like very playful letters that are not just taken from a font, but when they are designed to be together as one cohesive title. That makes sense. So yeah, overall this packaging just feels a little bit rough to me. I would like to make it slightly more cute and delicate, and let's see what I can come up with. Just in case I don't guarantee anything, I will try my best. So first of all, I wanted to show you my mood board that I created beforehand. So these are just the styles that I personally see that they align with this brand. They're really playful, cute, and really modern at the same time, kind of Y2K-ish style. On this mood board you can see like multiple different styles, even though they have some similarities, but at the same time, obviously I can't use all of them. Like, for example, I really like these 3D effects, like this one and this, especially this one, kind of like engraved text in a surface. But at the same time, I can't mix it with something like this hyper-wave full of halftones and strokes or pixelated effects. So these are just the options to consider, but ultimately I'll have to choose which one I like the most, or which one is easier for me to do. I don't know. Yeah, even this mood board, like, it helps me to narrow down my choices, but I still need to narrow them down because even this is not enough. It's still too broad for me. But in terms of similarities, as you can see, the typography is very playful everywhere. So this is what I was talking about when it's not just a font, when the letters are designed to be together. Like the letters E, for example, at different places they look differently. Whereas if it was a font, it would be the exact same E everywhere. So I want to do something like this, something very fluid, not too thick or not too thin. This is rather thin, I would say. Yeah, I'm not sure in terms of the thickness. I think thinner fonts would work a little bit better. In my case, something like this Summer, it's not really thick, because even though, oh, this is the original, the thick fonts work really well when the title is short. But exciting macaron is pretty long word, so I think it's going to be too overwhelming if I would make it the whole phrase in this kind of thick font. It would be so hard to read, I'd imagine. Yeah, of course I really like this plastic or chrome or glass effect. Yeah, it's probably like glass or plastic, more like a plastic. Basically 3D effect, but this is quite heavy on the eye, like I would have to focus on it and not highlight anything else. So I would rather go for something more flat like this or this. Yeah, maybe I would play around with gradients, like with this example, energy, or some outer glow, shadows, because this also looks really trendy and modern. So I would rather go to that direction, I think. And the illustration style, like I mentioned already, I would like to change it to potentially something like this, like something very blurry and abstract and looking very fresh and modern at the same time. So we'll see what it would look like. Yeah, these 3D references, they look really nice, but I don't want to overestimate and to put too much pressure on me this time. So probably not, maybe next time. Also, I really like this sticker effect. I mentioned it multiple times previously when I was designing something, and whenever I can add it, I try to add it. So I will probably try it this time, maybe not, but I think it works well with this brand, with this packaging. So it's a good idea, I think. One of the main differences also between my mood board and the original packaging is the color scheme. So I want to go for something a bit more clean, blue, cold colors, or maybe some warm colors, but a bit cleaner, but nothing earthy or like brown, orange. It can be orange, but it should be like peachy orange or something more like clean and digital. Yeah, something more on Y2K side, I would say. This is kind of the general direction and vibe I'm going for, and let's just get started. So I created a document in Photoshop to design the main side. The reason I'm doing it in Photoshop because I'm going to experiment and apply lots of effects. In Illustrator, you just can't do a lot of them. Illustrator is good only for maybe 3D effects and typography. But yeah, everything else, Photoshop. And also I'm really biased. That's the program that I love the most. That's why I always open it by default. Even though I don't know the precise measurements of this packaging, because I have pictures of it from different sides. The main thing that I needed to know is the ratio between the width and the height, and I put it inside of A4 format, which is, I know that has pretty decent resolution, and that's enough. Even if it's not precisely the same as the original packaging, it has the same ratio, so we can imagine that it's almost like original. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the basic elements that this packaging should contain, such as the title, exciting macaron, the image of Labubu. Yeah, I only have the picture of the packaging. I also took a look online of some photos, if I could find any photos of Labubu, and they weren't as cute as the illustration, so I don't think I can make them better. So I'm just gonna modify this illustration a lot, just changing up the style of it. Let's see if Photoshop understands how I want to remove the background. No, it doesn't understand because it already had a background. Okay, let's try cutting out the Labubu first, and from here I'm pressing remove background and it doesn't work. Okay, I'm guessing Photoshop just sees all of it as essential part of the image. I don't know, I'll just quickly do it manually, but it doesn't matter if it's precise or not. I'm just at the beginning stage right now when I'm deciding on the layout, where to place what, so I don't really need it to be precise. Yep, something like this. So I just need to decide where would I put what. Obviously I don't want to repeat the same thing as is on the original packaging. I'm thinking I could place this text somewhere here, or I could make it go like around. That could be cute, obviously with a different font. But the problem with it, I see that the ears, I don't want to cover the ears. Yeah, I don't think it would look nice. And at the same time, I don't want Labubu to cover the title because it needs to be readable. So I think I just need to say goodbye to this idea and to rearrange everything. So maybe I could put the macaron in the center. It's still covered. It could be covered a little bit. Or I could put it at the bottom, which could work, I guess. It could work. And the second, what else do we have here? Vinyl face. Vinyl face and the monsters. I'll quickly experiment with the illustration style of Labubu. What if I can make it a little bit more flat and the lines are thinner, kind of like hand-drawn illustration? I think we can try it with photocopy effect. So I just want the lines to be very thin and subtle. Yeah, something like this. And then I would use the colors on top of it. I think I would like to go for this airbrush effect, which is really trendy now. I don't know the exact tricks that people use to create it, but I will try to imitate this sort of style. So obviously I need to make sure that Labubu would be recognizable from afar and would be noticeable, because right now it's not really. But I would imagine that on top of it I would use some colors just to show people what it looks like. Yeah, it's just a draft right now. Don't judge it, please. Don't judge it. It's just an idea. Yeah, like orange cheeks and brown eyes. Okay, something like this. Maybe not exactly, but we're gonna leave it like that for now. But because now, like, my approach is to do everything simultaneously. Yeah, multitasking. I mean, when it comes to design, of course. So I want to experiment with the title right now, and after that I'll get back to the illustration and I'll see what I can do with it. So I need to find something really playful, and it's gonna take, yeah, something like this. I'm guessing it's gonna take me 1,000 years, so I'm probably gonna speed up this part so you will see the end result. Maybe, or maybe I'll end up not finding one, but at least I will try out all of them. So I'm looking for something playful. Absolutely love this font, and I wish it could suit one of the projects that I'm working on right now, but not this time, unfortunately. It's a bit too elegant and vintage and quirky for this project. Like, well, quirky is good, but it's too vintage, let's say. It's completely different from what I need. Okay, so like I thought, I haven't found the exact font that I would like to use for the title, so I'm gonna customize it. So I just need a good font for like a foundation font, and Bio Sans Soft I think would work best for it. And I just need every single letter to be on a different layer so I can assemble them together in a bit more playful way, like yes, something like this. It's a little bit exhausting. Well, not really. Like, if I did that all day, maybe it would be, but not too much. Exciting macaron. Okay, this is the base that we're gonna use. And now I'm gonna manipulate them. So some of them would be bigger and different angles and also closer together. Maybe some of them would be better being in italic. Okay, and then I'm gonna try to group it all to merge in one layer, and then my favorite tool is liquefy, of course, because I'm gonna make some parts thicker, some parts thinner, and also just to make it a bit more wavy, more like liquid style. I don't know. Sometimes I tend to overdo it and it looks ugly, but what I've noticed that you need some of the strokes to be thinner and some of the strokes to be much thicker. So just overall contrast should be very visible. I think this is what I ended up with. This is what I was talking about. Like, It's too much. I think it's too thick. It kind of feels too rough to me. I don't know. I think I need to do something else to it, and maybe to add contrast. I would make some part of it thinner. Okay. Let me try one more time. Okay, this is also pretty rough, but I think it looks better because of all these decorative elements, some flourishes, and I kind of made it intentionally look very rough and childish. And now, just to balance it out and to make it less rough, I'm gonna make it not black and apply some effects to it. Something like the color should be something like purple, I would say, maybe outer glow or drop shadow. Yeah, I would like some kind of outer glow thing to be around this title to highlight it better. And now let's see what we can do with Labubu in your face. Okay, yeah, I really like the title now. I think that's the most important thing. Let's try changing the font for the subtitle. Maybe it'll be the same, Be Your Sons. Something even more playful like this. Why not? I think I would like to repeat that shape of a flag. I mean, this wavy line. I call it flag because that's the effect that I would use for it. Something like this. Okay, and what if I'll make it light or even white, and the outer glow would be purple, just like in the title, but the opposite. I think it looks a lot softer and cuter, and I like that it aligns with the title. And yeah, I did some manipulations to the main illustration. As you noticed, yeah, I just made it a lot more blurry and subtle because I didn't like those like very rough and clear lines. I don't know, I just feel like this is kind of that airbrush effect that I was going for, like not 100%, but this is a lot closer to it. Okay, and another word would be something in Chinese, I guess, of under monsters. And the last thing I need to do about this main side is the image of macaron, of course. I mean the illustration. And here it is. Yeah, I did that in a very similar way like I did the Labubu. And yeah, a couple of logos, just like in the original packaging, and stars, which are inverted, like they are clear and light inside, and they have dark outer glow. I think that looks very modern, and yeah, Y2K, like modern version of Y2K, I would say. And now what I need to do is to extend this file, the canvas, to the right or to the left, and to design another side of it where you can see the other types of Labubus. So I just have the picture of the original one. So this is what I take my ratio from, and I'm using the guideline to separate them. Like visually I see that it's a different part. And now I'm just designing it in a very similar way how the original was. I just want to rearrange them a little bit and to place that secret one in the center. Yes, something like this. And also each of them need the name underneath and the text below which says the ratio. Also, I need the same background color, like the same gradient, which should continue to this side. All right, so I did a few more manipulations, as you can see, and this is kind of similar to the well, okay, it's not really similar. It's similar in terms of what it contains, but I rearranged the layout and just the composition of this little Labubus in different types. I used the same font that I used on the front side for the monsters and vinyl face, so I think it all looks cohesive. And I also continued the gradient, and I also added two more sides with a bunch of text. I haven't done a lot of manipulations here because it's a lot of text. It's a very informative part of the packaging, so I don't think it needs that much change. So these are the main things that I've changed. And now I'm gonna bring it all to Illustrator and to see the entire box unfolded, and it would look like it's prepared for being printed and assembled. I'm not sure if I'm gonna print it or not. And as you can see, the main thing that I've changed here is the main side, and especially the title. That's what I've been working the longest on. I just showed you like the glimpse of it because this video would take hours and hours of trial and error, but just believe me, it wasn't as seamless and smooth as I showed it here. Okay, and the finishing touch would be to either print it and assemble it and show you the real box, or to show you what it would look like on a mock-up. So you will get the idea what it would look like in real life, real environment. And here it is. This is the end result, and this was the original one. So you can compare or don't compare. I don't know. Comparison is the thief of joy, they say. I'm pretty happy with it. I just think that my redesigned version is just a bit softer and cuter, maybe a little bit more girly as a side effect of it, but I would assume that girls buy it more than boys. I'm not sure if that's correct, but that's what I would assume. So it kind of makes sense. And yeah, and all the softness and making it a bit more modern and Y2K, I think I reached that, which is like what I intended to do initially. So yeah, this is the final result. Alright, that was it for my Labubu packaging redesign. Let me know what you think. Did I make it better, or did I just ruin the vibe? Either way, I had fun doing it. I hope you enjoyed watching my process. If you did, please give this video a like and consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. You can check out my other design with me videos. I have a lot more. And thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!